Hello everyone, this is your girl Martine Myers coming in with another one for 12 days of Vlogmas. First and foremost, I want to take the time to apologize because I am off like a day and I had some technical difficulties. So therefore, I'm back tonight taping on Christmas Day to be sure that I drop a few, like two more to complete the 12 days of Vlogmas. So I just wanted to present that to you guys before we go any further. At this current time, if you hear a background noise, it's simply because it is very cold and my heater is just pumping heat at this current time. I'm currently located in New York, so it's cold and the heat is working its way, okay? So, as I stated to you guys, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Martine Myers. I'm the award-winning author for Faces of Uterine Fibroids. Faces of Uterine Fibroids is an anthology that I created based on my personal story of 21 years fibroid journey. The anthology is put together with a few other women that actually decided to share their story to bring awareness to fibroids. Now, this channel is strictly educational. It's to bring awareness to fibroids. It's actually to help uplift women with the condition of fibroids, and we're also here to help women heal. And with the 12 days of Vlogmas, what we're doing now is answering questions from our viewers, and we're actually bringing light and alleviating a lot of confusion that any woman with fibroids may have. So the question for right now is, do fibroids affect emotions? Do fibroids affect emotions? In a nutshell, it all depends, basically, where you are in your journey when it comes to fibroids. For me, in my journey of 21 years of fibroids, the fibroids definitely came to a point where they actually did affect my emotions. Some days I was actually on a high, really happy, feeling great, feeling beautiful, looking in the mirror, being happy with what I see. And there are some days I was totally the opposite, feeling terrible, feeling bad for myself, just really wondering, why me? Why do I have this situation? Why am I dealing with fibroids? Why am I constantly in pain when I'm going through my menstruation? Why am I always having headaches during my menstruation or before my menstruation? There are times where I felt a total imbalance, and the pain was so bad at times that I kind of went to like a brain freeze, so to speak, where you're just like disoriented. You know, you don't necessarily remember too many things at one point. I mean, the memory comes back, but you actually do go through a brain freeze. And that's something that I did experience as my fibroid situation worsened in due time. Another situation that I had that brought confusion to me and messed with my emotions is that the more severe the fibroids became, I felt everything within my gut. Everything was in my womb. If I got a bad news, I felt it in my gut. If I got a good news, I felt it in my gut. If I was confused, I felt it in my gut. If somebody came to me with a bad energy, like toxic energy, I felt it in my gut. And the way that I felt it was basically a way where I felt like within the pelvic area, within my pelvic area, I felt like a tightening, like something was just tightening. And the way that I'm showing it to you basically is exactly like a coil tightening, tightening, tightening. And it was painful. It actually was painful. And it's funny how it would go in phases. It would come through, like come through, and work its way up, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter, and you feel like it's coiling even more and more, and it's rising, 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 and then it shoots down to something else where it's lessening. The pain is a lot less and stuff. But however, that is what I experienced. Now, the fibroids also related to emotions has a lot to do with relationships, close relationships, relationships with your parents, mom, dad, your relationships with people you love, where the people that you're most sensitive to, or the people you love more, the people you care for unconditionally. Those people, however they reacted to something or however they presented to you, would affect your emotions when you have fibroids as well. And that is something that I had a hard time dealing with, because there are times where I felt that I was under attack, literally. And it took me a while to realize that it actually was not the people. It was actually me with my condition. And I felt it that way because my condition of fibroids was so severe. Another thing for you guys to remember when it comes to fibroids and emotions is that the worse that your condition becomes, okay, the higher the sensitivity. So in my case, my blood count kept dropping considerably. I was extra weak, okay? And I was actually vulnerable mentally, emotionally, and even physically. Everything for me is that I had to put so much extra strength, feeling into it, extra drive for me to get to where I want to get to and accomplish the things I want to accomplish. There are times where I had to concentrate so much for me to basically try to understand certain topics in school, for me to be able to pass a class. The pressure that I had to put on myself, on my brain, for me to be sure to pass a test. Like, some things did not just configure easily for me because of my extreme low blood count. And the reason why you have the low blood count with the fibroids, I want to make it clear, is because the fibroid tumors actually, they survive on your blood. They're constantly sucking on your blood for survival. And that's how they remain. And when you go, and if you go get a fibroid removal surgery, which is what I had, an open myomectomy, what they do is that they cut the tubes to where the fibroid is actually connected to the uterus. And that's how they remove the actual fibroids, which is the non-cancerous tumors. So the blood supply gets cut off, basically. And with that being said, they don't have an opportunity to continue sucking in the blood because the blood supply, that lifeline is cut off. So that's how that works, just to let you know. But if you have a severe situation of fibroids, okay, and you constantly have these fibroids with you, and they're constantly taking in your blood, they're constantly sucking in all the blood that they can get to survive, then that drains you. It pulls on you. It brings a pressure upon you. You really feel like you're being pressured down, like you're almost pruning. It dries your skin, basically. It has a lot of different effects. But at the same time, the thing about it is, with that being said, with everything that I explained, fibroids do have a direct connection with affecting emotions. And there are times, honestly, within my journey, there are times there's some people that I just could not support to be around me at all. I could not hear their voice. I could not see them. I could not hear them. Like, I just did not want them to be within my space, period. You know, that's what fibroids does to you in its worst stage. You know, I can only talk about the very worst stage because that is what I experienced. Lo and behold, disclosure statement is that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. However, I am a woman who went through 21 years of fibroids, uterine fibroids, and I'm here to share my story to help bring awareness to fibroids and to help women heal. So I just want to make that clear that everybody knows exactly who they are listening to, where the advice is coming from. Just a simple woman who went through the experience and had the worst of time, but decided to want to give back. And that is who I am, Martine Myers, the award-winning author for Faces of Uterine Fibroids. One thing I have to say about the fibroids is that when you are going through your fibroid journey, please be sure to take upon your vitamins. Be sure to replenish. Be sure to really replace all that you're losing, because you could easily be depleted at any moment in time if you have fibroids literally sucking onto your blood, because that's how they survive. That's all they do is suck blood, drink up blood. That's what they do. And in order for them to not do that anymore, the blood supply needs to be cut off. And that's how to get rid of the fibroids, okay? So always be sure to replenish. There are some vitamins or some herb supplements that you can take in reference to helping you with your emotions as well. Natural herbs that are available, which I will put the description in. I'll put it in the description box, the link for you guys, for you to be able to research and purchase if you may. But by all means, the situation with fibroids can be very emotional. It could become very emotional. You could be very irritated. You could feel very lonely. You could feel the lack of love, as if you're the only person going through this and your world is upside down and nobody's there for you. And that does not necessarily mean that you lack love. That does not necessarily mean that nobody's there for you. That does not necessarily mean that you are simply by yourself, lonely. But that's how you feel. That is how you express it. That is how you walk through your journey of fibroids at its worst stage. And that is how the emotions are being carried over, literally, okay? And I want to make clear that every woman's fibroid journey is totally different. Many of us can identify with the emotions and certain symptoms and certain scenarios. However, each woman is a different woman. Each body, mind, body, and soul is a different mind, body, and soul. Okay, a whole different composite, as well as your level of emotions as to what you can deal with is very different as well. Some of us demonstrate more strength than others. Okay, so it's really something that, unfortunately, you don't really know where you're going to be until you actually get there. You really have to experience it on your own. It is not something that you can pinpoint. It is not something that we can say for ourselves, well, if I get that symptom or if I feel this way, I know I can do X, Y, Z. It doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. It's basically you got to walk the walk as you go through it. And depending on your personal devotion, depending on your commitment to self-love and how you want to improve your life and how you choose to adjust your lifestyle for you to feel better about yourself and basically cure your inner feelings about who you are, and where you're going, what you're all about, you know, doing that, going through that healing process and really looking within. That is how you're going to find yourself finding solutions to your fibroid situation. Sometimes you can find yourself finding solutions to many other situations, medically for you, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. But you have to be in the game, per se, and walk the walk for you to really understand and know, because it's a private journey. Basically, it's a personal journey, you know. A lot of many different women have fibroids. However, we all have a separate and distinct journey. So with that being said, I want to take the time to let you guys know that you can also purchase the book Faces of Uterine Fibroids. This is the award-winning masterpiece, the anthology Faces Uterine Fibroids, and read the stories on there to gain some inspiration, motivation, hope, courage for your situation. Any of you who currently have fibroids or know somebody who's actually having fibroids, I will also leave the link for the purchasing of the book in the description area. With that being said, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for supporting Faces of Uterine Fibroids. Please be sure to like, comment, and share this video with your family and friends. Please be sure to help another woman heal. Thank you. Take care.